Alright, 2 packs left. We're in 2023 of Planet Zoo. 4 years into this game, we've had 2 packs so far. We've had the Tropical Pack, as well as the Arid Animal Pack. We still have 2 more packs to go this year, and I'm not trying to sound doomsday or anything like that, but they may be the last 2 packs we get. We could also see, I think my personal prediction is 4 more packs. I'll go into those reasons probably in a different video, but this is meant to be a speculation video. Let's go. We'll stay on focus. So, main point of this video, I'm just going to give my 2 cents on what I think is the next 2 packs, especially mainly just what I would want to see, combining what I would want to see, but also what I think the community would like. So, we're going to start off with the Fall Pack, which is the one coming up, which will probably drop if I'm going off of the last 2 packs, with the North American Animal Pack releasing on October 4th, I believe, and the Twilight Pack releasing on October 18th. So this one's probably going to drop around early October, even to late October. I don't think it's going to be as late as last year's, because that was only to fit with the Halloween theme. I would say either release date will probably be on the 3rd or the 10th. So, reading over the forums and stuff and throwing in my own opinions, I think there's 2 big contenders for the Fall Pack, and that is either a Children's Zoo Pack or a Temperate Pack. So, both of them are scenery packs, which I think we can expect because the last pack, the Arid Animal Pack, was obviously an animal pack. And I feel like even though we got scenery packs back to back last year, I think they wouldn't do... I don't think they would do animal packs back to back, because number one, scenery packs sell better than animal packs, and also that's a long time to go without giving any new pieces, which pieces are a lot of people, or a lot of players, what they want. And plus the scenery packs give something of both. They both give pieces and animals. Animal packs only give animals, so you get a win-win if you release a scenery pack and stick with the format. So I'm putting like 95% sure we're gonna get a scenery pack in the fall. So let's start with, we'll talk about the first option. We have Children's Zoo. Both of these packs have really good reasoning, which is why I had to mention them both, because I can't choose which one is more likely, because they can be equal. Starting off with the Children's Zoo pack, I've seen a lot of different ideas on the forums and just everywhere, and even back to like the first DLC or when the game first launched, people wanted like domestics and petting zoos and stuff. Now, that is not where I'm going with this. If we have a full pack of domestics, I don't think that's going to work out, and I don't think the community is going to be happy with that, because imagine we get like a cattle, just a regular old yak, you get a pig, a chicken, goats. If we got a goat, a pig, a cow, and a horse, or a chicken, or whatever, is that something? If you got that, if you got those 5 animals and a bunch of pieces, would that be something you would enjoy? No, you're lying.
Don't lie to me.
So I think the approach that I took on this was to have a handful of petting animals along with children-friendly animals. And what I mean by that is animals that are curious, like to explore their environment, aren't shy. So I've put in a bunch of friendly animals along with a couple petting animals. So our number 1, the Nigerian dwarf goat. This is honestly the only domestic I actually want. And by domestic, obviously, I mean farm animals, basically, or animals you find at a farm or a ranch, whatever. The dwarf goat is actually the only one I want, just because it doesn't have to be in a petting zoo section of your park. At my local zoo, they do have a petting zoo, but the goat technically isn't part of the petting zoo. It's just like just as like an entrance animal. Just as soon as you walk in, you see the goat, and I like that about the goat. The goat doesn't have to be a petting zoo animal. It can just be an animal that is gentle and is like welcoming, and it's a perfect entrance animal. Anyway, so moving past that, I also put in for my second pick the Southern Tamandua. Now the Tamandua is one that I've seen. I think it's a big request. I think it's in like the top 30, I think, on the wish list. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. I might be wrong. I don't know. Okay. It's very friendly. It's not dangerous at all. But the Southern Tamandua is definitely an animal I think the community would appreciate. It's another South American animal, which is always good. And it's just a nice cuddly creature. Like, I've even seen it, I think there's a few zoos that have it as an ambassador animal, which would be really nice. Also, speaking of that, like features and stuff coming to the game, I'm not gonna get into free updates and stuff like that. I'm only focusing on DLCs, or else this video will be way too long already. I'm assuming it's gonna be like half an hour. Tell me if I'm right, guys. I don't know. I'm scared to look at the time. Oh God. Anyway. Anyway, third pick of the pack will be the South American Quaddy. I know, another South American animal. I figured that it's not as bad to include South American animals. And my total roster has 3 South American animals. Which, to be fair, the tropical pack had 3 Asian animals. So I think the max for a scenery pack would have 3 animals on the same continent and the other 2 from, God knows, somewhere else. But the Kawadi would definitely probably be the star of this pack, or the GOAT, or like the headliner. Kawadi could easily go off of probably the Fusa Rig. I already know it's like in the top 5, I think, for the made a wish list. So I definitely think that would be the headliner of this pack. And then finally, I would put in a duck species. So I know there's some controversy with ducks and swans and stuff because there's a lot of talk going around because we haven't had them yet. So I don't see why they can't bring them. I don't know. This is just me kind of wishful thinking. If we don't get a duck species, I mean, there's a bunch of different duck species they could put. They could put the harlequin duck. They could put the mandarin duck, mallards. You could also do the swan, which will come up later in this video, so I'm not going to touch on that too much. If they don't go for the duck or the swan route, they could also go for the greater rhea. It would be a very simple reskin from the ostrich. And I've seen a lot of people talk about it. I've seen people want it in the game, like on the forums and stuff, and just in general. So, alright, on to the final species of the pack, which I'm hoping the next pack is a walkthrough exhibit, and we get back to that. Because another disappointment for me from the Arid pack was that we didn't have a walkthrough exhibit animal, which is like, I feel like they're kind of building it up, but then again, we had things like the bat, and then we had the butterflies, and then we had the sloth, and then exhibit animal. So I feel like they're kind of like saving the spot up for something, but then again, it's just like, what are you doing? I'm hoping that was just like a test or whatever, or something that to buy them time to the next pack. So what I put in here was the Golden Lion Tamarin. Now, I've looked at what people think if it's not birds in the walkthrough exhibit animal, which is obviously the lead thought right now. We get macaws and budgies and smaller songbirds, things like that. If it's not birds, which I will always hope it will be birds, but if it's not, then I hope it's the tamarin, because the tamarin doesn't have another spot on my list. It could be a habitat animal, but it's so small, and I feel like it'd be so much easier to just put it in the walkthrough exhibit. Me personally, but I don't know. Yeah, so that would be my personal picks: dwarf goat, tamandua, duck, coati, and the tamarin in the walkthrough exhibit. That would be my personal picks for a children's zoo pack, which I hope would be coming in the fall. There's lots of different reasons that both this pack idea and the one I'm about to mention could happen. This one main point would be that it has requested animals, and that it's in the fall, and it would be like harvest theme pack. The downsides to this would be this pack would need to be supported by the update. We would need things like petting and guest animal more interactions between guest and animals, petting goats or petting like llamas or whatever, or feeding them. Those 2 ideas, petting and feeding, would be the main thing I want to come in this update. I don't care about anything else. I just want those, because that's going to be the single-handedly decider. It would be honestly kind of dumb for them to have goats in a pack, but the guests aren't allowed to touch them or feed them or anything. They're just allowed to look at them. Because every zoo, almost every zoo that has like a petting zoo or goats or whatever, you're allowed to pet them. I just feel like it would be such a waste opportunity if we got goats, but they wouldn't be able to be pet or be able to be fed or whatever. But yeah, that's enough of that. That was the main reasons for the children's zoo pack. And now moving on to the second idea I had for the fall pack, a temperate pack, like I mentioned. So this actually might seem slightly more possible than a children's zoo pack, and I'll tell you why. So far this year, we've had the tropical pack, like I said, and the arid animal pack. Both those packs have been opposites from the packs in 2021. So in 2021, we got the Southeast Asia Animal Pack, which focused on Asian animals, but everybody was disappointed because we didn't get like Asian or temple-themed pieces. In the Tropical Pack, it was a scenery pack, included Asian animals, but it was a scenery pack and included the scenery we missed out on in that pack. So it was basically the opposite. Same thing that happened again in the summer. We got the Africa pack in 2021, scenery pack, a variety of scenery from Africa. In the Arid Animal pack this year, that was an animal pack and included African animals. So again, the opposite of the Africa pack we got. If we follow this pattern, and the last two packs of 2021 were the North America Animal Pack and the Europe pack. So, and this will actually tie into my idea for the Winter pack. The opposite of the North America Animal Pack would be temperate pieces or temperate scenery. I don't exactly know what these pieces would look like. I'm assuming like more modern or log cabin-y kind of style, which I'm all for. Honestly, I love building like realistically. That's why I wasn't too much of a fan from the Tropical Pack. I used like a few of the pieces and stuff. I don't use like the thatch and. However, actually the wall's pretty good in that pack, I have to admit. Anyway, and then also with things like the Twilight Pack, I don't use a lot of the castle pieces and stuff like that. I mostly like to build realistically, and I like modern kind of pieces. And if this pack actually has those, or at least like more log pieces, with the textures we have now, the quality of pieces we have now, I'm all for that. So going into the animals this pack, the headliner would definitely be the number one animal on the Made-A-Wish list for God knows how long. It's been like a year and a half. The Tasmanian Devil would probably be the number one animal there. It's temperate. It's almost like temperate woodland, so it'd be like kind of the vibe of this pack because it's basically like a foresty kind of pack. I personally don't want the devil because it's just not an interest for me. I don't know why. I'm just not that into it. Moving past that, I am all for swines, and if we had another one like, say, the wild boar, which is my second pick, I am greatly appreciative of that. I love pigs in this game, especially the most recent ones, the Beavers and the Red River Hog. The Red River Hog especially, oh, just beautiful. Beautiful model, beautiful textures, beautiful everything. It's amazing. I love it. It's one of my favorite species in the game. And if we get the wild boar with that level of quality, oh, instant buy for me. Anyway, wild boar is also a great temperate animal, and it's I think a fairly requested animal. Mute swan, like I said earlier, a temperate woodlands kind of open pond kind of theme. If they stray away from waterfowl, I really don't know. And then for my last pick is the Japanese raccoon dog. So this one is kind of tight. I don't exactly know what this fourth animal would be because it's hard to choose something. You could have the coyote, you could have the bush dog. I don't know if they would put two big carnivores in a scenery pack. Something that caught my eye actually after I finished recording this video, that one animal that I kind of forgot, and I didn't actually mention any deers or ungulates or anything like that. And one that I wanted to bring up was the muntjac, specifically the Reeves muntjac. Muntjacs are so unique, and they're a type of, I think they're a type of deer, I'm pretty sure. And they would be so unique from the ungulates we've had. I know people have gotten a lot of ungulates, and especially a lot of antelopes, in the last pack, but I think that this one would be unique enough to make it a good choice of the pack. Other things I've seen, like roe deer or other species of deer or antelopes, but the muntjac just stands out to me. So I just wanted to put that in here. Just like an extra side note, back to the video. And then for the exhibit animal, I really was running dry on ideas here. I picked the bearded dragon. I know they don't only live in woodlands, but they also live in like deserts and scrublands and stuff. But to be fair, we also have the striped hyena, which in the grasslands pack, that doesn't only live in grasslands, and yet we still got it in a grasslands pack. So as long as it is in that area, I'm assuming it might be okay to have. So yeah, those are my two options for the fall pack. There's reasons for both, Children's Zoo pack and a Temperate pack. If it's not one of those two, I don't know what else they could do. They could probably do like an arboreal pack, I guess, like a treetop pack, kinda. Moving on to the final pack, which is my personally most excited pack. The one that I'm hoping for to come true so badly, so badly. If this comes true and with the exact animals, which I know it highly won't. I don't really care about the exhibit. Honestly, I'm gonna skip the exhibit animal because I really have no ideas. The best one I came up with was the giant salamander, but even that's like huge, and I don't think it would fit in an exhibit animal. or exhibit box. So I'm just gonna skip the exhibit entirely because the other 7 are way more interesting for me. If I get all of these right, this will be my favorite pack if I get everything right. Here we go. So, headliner of the animal, straight off the bat. Oh right, I forgot to mention the title. I'm going for a Highlands animal pack. So probably going to be an animal pack. Continuing with the system, if we get a scenery pack in the fall, we're going to get an animal pack in the winter. This honestly wraps up most of the mammals. Because I really want colder climate animals, and if we get a Temperate pack and a Highlands pack, that would definitely fill in that niche of the roster. First headliner of the pack would be the speckled bear, or the Andean bear. Definitely a top pick for me. I love love the bears that we have in the game, but I want to see one more very high quality. The last bear we got was a sun bear, which was 2 years ago. And I'm not saying the quality of that one is bad, but I want to see how much they've improved, and I want to see how close we can get to a realistic bear in the game. Second one, also a very, I think it's like number 2 on the wish list, would be the Wolverine. Wolverine I honestly love. I know it's not too dense in zoos, but it is an iconic creature, and I honestly really like it. And I've seen a lot of people want it in the community. Moving on from that to our ungulates of the pack, we have the first one that a lot of people want is the Takin. I personally chose the Sichuan Takin. I'm assuming it would either be that one or the Golden Takin. The Takin is very requested. I like it. And we haven't had any sort of like buffalo species in a while. We've had the wild water buffalo, which was the last one. We haven't had anything like that recently, so I really hope we get something like that on the line of bovids. Moving on to our other ungulate that I chose was the Markhor. I really think that the Markhor is going to make it into this pack, just because it's so iconic. Alright, moving on past the ungulates, we also have the Palace Cat. I really want this animal. This is probably one of my favorite animals, and I haven't even seen it in a zoo. I just love it so much. It's like the grumpiest cat out there. Plus, we just got the cat rig, which is for the sand cat. I really think they were making that not only used for the sand cat, but also used as a base for the palace cat, which I really hope happens because I love the palace cat. I love it so much more than the sand cat. I'm personally not a fan of the sand cat. I don't know, it's just kind of boring. It's just like if you took a cat and put it in the desert. I know it has like certain adaptations for living in the desert. But I'm just personally not interested in it at all. But the Palace Cat, I don't know what it is. It's just so cool. I love it. Plus, I also really like building mountain and colder climate enclosures rather than desert enclosures. And you'll notice that with some of my builds and stuff. And that reminds me, if you want to check out any of the content that I produce, we come out with weekly content. Most of it is highly realistic enclosures for Planet Zoo. Hit the subscribe button so you'll never miss a video, and you can check out some of it after this, or you can just skip to it. I know I'm really boring to listen to, aren't I? Yeah, you don't have to lie. Anyway, 2 left, I think. We have the golden pheasant, which would be the bird for the pack. I know I'm asking a lot. 1 bird in each pack of the last year. We know we're getting at least 1 bird this year, because we always get a bird in the year, which is honestly really disappointing that we get 1 bird in every year, which is so sad. And it's so painful to say, because there's so much more to birds. Even not even introducing flying, there's so much possibilities for habitat birds. Like secretary birds, ibises, spoonbills, pelicans. I don't know why we don't have a dang pelican yet. Like, it's so cool. Swans, ducks, anything like that. But I chose the pheasant. I guess we could also choose the rhea. The rhea honestly works for anything. It's just kind of like, I don't really want it. But I'll take it if I have to. But the pheasant is a more strikingly colorful bird, which is why I chose it over the rhea. They could also easily go off of the peacock rig, or the peafowl. Anyway, but yeah, I love the pheasant myself. It's very bright, it's very colorful, and it's a nice bird for like walkthrough exhibits and things like that. And the final one, which I know everybody's going to lose their mind over if it is not included by the end of support, which I also mentioned earlier, it is the ultimate primate, the Hamadryas baboon. So this could also be the gelada. The gelada and the Hamadryas go neck and neck, and I've seen them. So many people ask for either one. I honestly don't really care too much of which one we get, but I personally like the Hamadryas a bit more, just because it's a bit more fluffier or fluffier. And it's nice. It's very colorful. It's a bit more vibrant than the gelada. But again, I don't care either one we get. Either one. I just need one of them. I would even go for the olive baboon. I know it's definitely not as strikingly colorful as the other two, but I mean, I'll still take them. But I really hope we get a baboon, if not in this pack, by the end of support, because I really do hope we get one. Because they're such an iconic animal, and if they're gonna load us with a bunch of more African creatures, like in the last pack, I really hope that we eventually get the baboon. Anyway, that is all I have to say. Those are my 3-pack ideas. 1 for the winter pack, 2 for the fall pack. I'm really hoping that winter pack comes true. I genuinely hope so. If you guys have any ideas for either alternates for the animals I chose, or even the packs, you can come up with your own packs. By all means, I love reading comments. But leave a comment down below. What packs do you want to see in the rest of the year? What animals do you want to see in the rest of the year? And also for the pack I recently mentioned, the Highlands pack, I didn't have an exhibit animal at all. So exhibit box or not, walk through exhibit. You guys let me know if you guys have any ideas for what that animal could be. I hope you'll enjoy. Again, hit the subscribe button if you want more speculation videos, because I honestly haven't done any of these recently, and I'm hoping to get this one out fairly soon. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.